Hi, I'm Aumkara Newhouse. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about being pain-free, having strength and flexibility as I usually do. And you might notice I'm sitting on my heels. This is not comfortable for most people. It's also not a good idea to stand for longer than about 2 minutes because you risk putting enough pressure on the nerves in the feet that your foot will no longer flex up and you'll have a dropped foot. This is called Vajrasana also. For people who have difficulty kneeling this long, you can put a cushion, roll towel, between the heels, like so. You might have to put something underneath the ankles also, and that can be done with a nice blanket. So it catches gives a little support to the arches. Then we take our towel, put it on top. That gives you a lot more elevation. We'll take the pressure off the knees and makes it you can stay up like so. It's a lot of elevation. Excuse my mic cord. And with a lot of uplifting of the chest. Once you're here, this tends to stabilize the hips, tends to push all the blood out of the lower parts of the body, tends to help make the brain feel really firm and supported. Firmness and support helps us to feel stable, helps us to feel centered. And the affirmation was written by a direct disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda, Swami Kriyananda. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. It's also helpful to have the left hand underneath the right. That tends to bring the energy up the body also into the head. Once we're in this pose, and taking the appropriate precaution of blowing your nose ahead of time, we can do kapalabhati prana yama, and it's simply a forced exhalation through the nose and then letting the stomach relax forward. Let's do 12 rounds. Nice full inhalation, let it relax. Let the breath come in and out on its own 3 to 5 times. Kapalabhati pranayama is called, and it means literally skull shining breath, tends to bring the energy up the body, but it tends to also energize the stomach and all the organs, and it helps us deal with all the issues of modern life. Irritable bowel syndrome, burping, constipation, gallbladder issues, liver issues, and liver stones, etc., etc. Everybody needs some fresh oxygen and blood, and this supplies it. It's also very relaxing to the whole front of the body and helps clear the mind. 9 months ago, my life changed dramatically, and I was in a head-on car crash. We're now in July 2018. That was November 29th, 2017. It is due to my practice of yoga and all the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, the energization exercises, and also my own personal knowledge of healing, which I started doing immediately, and to some degree my body, because it's so conditioned, started to do before I came to after that head-on car crash. I was going between 30 and 40 miles an hour, and the person was going 60 to 70 miles an hour, and his car is bigger, heavier, and going faster. This is not something you want to try at home or any other place. However, I did survive it. And it did take a lot of effort, and my doctor, who was a concussion specialist, Dr. Todd Turnbull, had to convince me that I was less functional than I was, which took about a month and a half before I finally realized how bad a shape I was in. I was so numb I didn't know what was going on. Because I had no broken parts and no obviously broken pieces, I did not get checked out at a hospital. I cannot recommend that for anybody else. I can't even recommend it for me. A person called me after I texted them, and he wanted to know if there was anything critical, and they said they can't find anything critical. So he said, well, you'd heal faster if you go home, which was true, because I started treatment immediately, and I asked a friend of mine to come over and help me give me treatments, so that did work. Not something that would be true for most people. Has its own consequences. I also want to share with you one of the things, a product that I found that's helpful for brain fog. Our brains need not only glucose, but medium chain fats, and also particular calcium salt tends to help get rid of toxins. And there's a product developed by one of my mentors, Dr. Jerry Tennant. It's not very expensive, about $70 a container, and you simply put a scoop in room temperature water, and it dissolves, and then you drink it. It tastes quite nice, and it also has a little bit of protein in it, 2,000 milligrams of protein, which is really 2 grams, some fiber, some sunflower lecithin, some digestive enzymes, and some vitamin K2, monk fruit sweetener, and this calcium salt, which is DL3 hydroxybutyric acid calcium salt. It's also low in calories, 60 calories a scoop, so it doesn't really cause any change in your weight. So we simply take a container of water, take a scoop of this stuff, drop it in the water, and you do not even need to have the little shaker in your shaker bottle, the little metal gizmo. It will mix very quickly in room temperature water. It will not mix very well in cold water, and tea temperature water will tend to cause it to get glumpy, not very present. So you mix it all up like so, and it's nice and dissolved, and simply drink it. It has a very nice flavor due to the monk's fruit extract. And what it does for us especially is when you're feeling foggy, emotional, overtaxed, on the verge of tears. There's a condition for people who have brain trauma called PBA, which has this pseudo-bulbar syndrome. What a pseudo-bulbar is exactly, I'm not quite sure. I did not look that much into it. However, what happens is you have reactions that are out of proportion to what's going on, or opposite. When the brain does not have enough nutrition, that seems to trigger it more. And in my case, I found this works. Certainly a lot better than taking the drugs, which probably just damp down the process and do not actually help the brain recover. One of the other things I found out in my process of recovering from all the trauma in my body and in my brain is that the brain does not get priority until, excuse me, I have to get out of being on my ankles. I was in there far too long. Don't do that at home, folks. And I was saying the brain does not get rest and repair until most of the body's been taken care of, and doesn't get what it needs, because the body views the frontal lobe reasoning capability less important than having the physical body repaired. When we are in body-wide trauma, where every cell in your body and every organ in your body was majorly traumatized, your brain recovers very slowly. This is also true afterwards. If you work out too much, your body will get first and the brain will basically stay the same and not get the nutrients it needs. Getting the body into rest and repair can also be triggered using a Meridian Charging Therapy technique on the points on the wrist. And we simply take our hand and make a nice C with your other right hand, put it on the wrist, and then we rotate. We're going to rotate 39 times on the inside and outside. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and switching to the other wrist. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. I'm not going to go into it right in this video. I will in a future one where we actually muscle test a person's bicep before and after, and the person is remarkably stronger. It also tends to bring the blood from the base of the brain in the sensory organs into the front part of the brain. It tends to bring the blood into all the internal organs away from the outer fight and flight, stiff shoulders, shoulders in the ears kind of effect that we get when we are stressed. Most people do not get in the rest and repair mode, and therefore the brain doesn't get what it needs ever, or rarely. So, to recap, we have kapalabhati pranayama to help get the energy into the brain. We have the brain food, which is an essential point to help, because along with the oxygen, getting rid of the toxins, which this product helps with, both with fiber, very small amount of fiber, and with the calcium salts, along with the nutritional components of both the medium chain and long chain fats, and a little bit of protein plus digestive enzymes, so it gets into the tummy. And when you've been in a trauma, your stomach is not, your pancreas and liver and spleen are not making strong digestive enzymes, and it's probably not releasing, so you need help. That's another thing that needs to be done about Western medicine, is people in trauma can't digest food, and sticking a needle in their arm and putting some glucose in them is not enough. So that's my little point there. So again, we've got the brain food, we've got the kapalabhati pranayama, and last of all, Meridian Charging Therapy to help get you out of fight and flight and into rest and repair. I'm Aumkara. Pain-free strength and flexibility is your birthright. Claim it.